Now what happened here is my password then changed now. Cross-site request forgery is a serious thing you can have on your website. Now, there are different ways you can protect against this kind of vulnerabilities. You know, the most common one is by using a token that you do implement on the actual formula or request way, either, you know, the put, the post, the get, or the delete request you can create from the browser to the website. This particular example, it is a normal one, change your password. We already logged in and we can change our password. So I'm going to change my password to like test and test, click change and don't save. Now what happened here is my password then changed now. And you can see up here in the top of the browser, we have our URL and all the data we just sent. Let me just put that in this editor so we can look at it. Now, what you see here is the actual request to the website. The top part here isn't that relevant for now, so we can forget about that for now. Now, the next part we're going to see here is the keyword called password new equal to test and password confirm is equal to change, test, and change is equal to change. Now, these two variables here can be put to anything. So I could say test2 and test2, copy paste all that, go back, paste it in my URL and press enter, and you will see the password now is changed for this particular user admin. So if I log out and do admin test2 and log in, you will see that I now log in. So I used that password that I just created. Now this is of course a security level of low. Checking out the source code, just to do that one more time, is we have a direct input of the password new and the password confirm variables in PHP in this particular case. If you don't understand PHP, no worries, this is just the overall explanation from the code as well. So there is a update user set password new where user password equal to this particular current user, which is a method function written by the guy who created this vulnerable framework, you know, and you see no particular check. They just check if the password, you know, we put in, we're going to replace with the old one, it's actually the same one. So for example, if I write, you know, test 1 2 3 here and I write hello whoa, then it would not match, and that is the only, you know, check there is to actually verify that a password is real. But what if, and now comes the part of the cross-site request forgery. What is all that about? So what I could do now is that I could take this URL here, and since there's no check, any verification, anything, just giving a user this particular string, and since the system will remember the user it is logged in with, I could put this in, for example, some minify URL like that, you know, shorten, for example, and sign up. I'm gonna use something different, not to sign up with. Use this one. Okay, so let me just explain it theoretically. No reason to do all these things. So we could, you know, make this a special minified version of itself, put it inside an email, and make it as a phishing email. So people click this link. So when they click this link, it will execute all this, and we will change the password. Now we could even put different things in. We could put more different kind of, you know, stuff inside this URL that, you know, could be executed when the user clicked it. This is commonly used whenever a user is baited. Now the general idea here is I'm going to draw something for you because it is difficult, I understand, to understand this. So we have a server over here, which is the vulnerable server. Let me just see if we can make this a bit larger. There we go, server. I just rewrite this. So we have a server. And what I then do is I craft a minified URL of this, you know, string that we have. So it's some URL, and I put that inside. Let me just draw this, an email. It doesn't have to be an email. It could be basically anything. You can just send it out to anyone in an SMS. Only thing required is that the link inside of this email is being clicked on, right? If you click this and you are logged in on that service that is pointing towards, in the link, this one here, it will effectively change your password. And if you are the hacker, you most likely know the email address already because you sent the email. That is why it's commonly used in phishing emails. And when you then send it, then you will change the password. Now, there are so many different ways you can avoid these kind of things. You know, it is most easiest to implement a token, and that is something you do when we up the security level. It's going to be more difficult for us to do it. But in this video, we're only looking at the low one. It's beginner level, so cross-site request forgery is something that in most occasions require you to be logged in. Well, different way to say this is that you can execute functionality on the behalf of the user, because you can in some way craft a link, craft a functionality. It is easier when it is a GET request, and GET request is a part of the actual URL. If it was a POST request and you were to forge this, it would have to be some sort of, you know, JavaScript, for example, to execute it. So the user would have to be able to execute some sort of JavaScript through something that could create this POST request. That is not at all impossible to do, and there are many different solutions to that. But just to start with something, you know, the GET request here is the most common way. So I hope you understand what cross-site request forgery is all about. If you have a little experience in coding, you probably came across something called the cross-site request forgery token, which is an actual token that is implemented inside the form here, for example. So that token will be regenerated every time, so it's not easy for the attacker to, I would say impossible for the attacker to actually do the attack. But this is just, you know, a low one, so yeah, nothing crazy here for security. Next video, we will look at another vulnerability. I hope you learned something in this video. I'll see you again online. Have a really nice day.